Alright, it's time for some Paynus. In this vid, I'm going to look at all the Champ Batch 4 cards that came out, and it's a little bit of a two-parter, because I'm also going to look at the two spoiled Battle for the Universe cards, but I'll also talk about why Battle for the Universe is kind of big for UFS. So you're going to see when I get to that. I'm going to save the best for last, but for now, you probably want to hear about the champs first. First up is Grant Padley. He's like a mishmash of already existing characters. He shares all the symbols with Ash, and he's kind of like Ash, 3-dot or 2-dot, because he spends one card in his hand to look at the top three, and he's like a more balanced Skullman almost, but he's like Ash because Ash also spends one card in his hand to get whatever attack he wants from your opponent's discard, and then they both also share that stat pump ability. And then he's also like Skullman, a balanced Skullman because he filters a card. He's also like Tengu Man on air because they both share an ability that basically gives something +3/+3. So if you want to play air, if you want to play one checks, Tengu Man's probably better. But if you want to play death with Skullman support, that would be pretty dank, dog. Then there's Kevin Broberg. I love this card, and I love the symbols on it, and I love YouTube Broberg. Full Homo. It's got that E that synergizes with a lot of attacks. Like, there's 2 attacks now that I know of that when they hit your opponent, they generate a momentum. Or one's Bison's attack, and the other one is Skull Slam. So you can play those, and then you're guaranteed to generate a momentum immediately with his E. Kind of like a slightly different Felicia. Felicia generates the momentum no matter what at the end of the turn. But if you block his attacks, they get momentum gets generated immediately. Sometimes that might be better. And then you can use it on your opponent's turn if you commit the 2 foundations, which is really good with stuff like dodge. And then his other E is a nice little ability that spends your momentum. Really nasty on your opponent's turn. Lock down that 1 foundation on their turn, and then it stays committed for the next turn too. Yeah, he can bully 5-handers really hard by keeping what little foundations they make locked down. Excellent Skullbearer character too. Shares 2 symbols with Skullbearer and makes a lot of momentum. He's pretty dank, dog. Next up is Keith Disbro. And the first thing that should stand out to anyone is that this card is badass. Look at how badass he is. He's got that badass long hair. He's got that badass hood, that badass armor. He's got a big badass flame sword. He's a fucking big badass dragon in the background. He's got a badass anime quote. He's got badass air and life symbol. He's so badass. Look at how badass this card is. So everything about this card I think is okay. Momentum shenanigans are fun. That twice per turn E isn't too bad, except the fact that twice per turn E is playable on your opponent's turn too. So he's basically like has Alara's ability almost that says E, your next check it's +1, except it's twice per turn, but you can use it on either turn. He's probably okay. He might be possibly the best champ right now. We'll just have to see though. Anime. Bring your friends. It's got 2 pretty good abilities on it. The form ability is only playable if you have a character plus all the other stuff that you would put in a deck in your discard pile. So unless you're playing a character stacker, you're going to have to include other copies of characters in your deck to use that form. So the upcoming Captain Canada would use this card amazingly. Like you can form with this, get a Captain Canada, and then add it down after you play it. That's pretty nice. The E is good for actions that stay in your pool. For example, Feel My Power, or that one Yamato Man action. If this card is in your hand during your opponent's turn, it is a perfectly dead card, unfortunately. How do you like them apples? It's a lot like Hunt for Spiders and Dragons, because Hunt for Spiders and Dragons is like an action that drops down and turns face down. Except this card can only be used as an action. You can't build it on your first turn. And it also adds the foundation committed. But the effect of cycling itself and one other card in your hand to draw 2 cards is well worth putting this in your deck for. Badger Club. Getting damage from foundations nowadays is getting worse. Committing a 2 difficulty foundation for 2 damage is considered pretty good. nowadays. And with this one, you get 1 damage to all your attacks that hit beyond the first 1 damage for free. And it's also got that pretty sweet other ability on it if you block with it, and it's got a decent block on it. So yeah, it's pretty tight. It comes with a price. All I can think of about this card is like that kid's like a fatty and he's trying to lose weight and he's like trying to resist the sandwich. And so this is like a metaphor. The guy's shaking a sandwich at him. Like, you want this, fatty? You can't have this, fatty. He's like, I gotta stay strong in the fight to lose weight. I'm so fat. One-sided conversation. There better be some dope-ass shit for you to ready with this for that to be worth it. Worth that 3 difficulty. Damn. Dragged to victory. Man, why you gotta keep giving base shit? At least it's 3 difficulty so that he can fail this if he checks his dark laser. That's pretty nice. Yeah, it's good enough that you could put this basically in any deck though. Flipping one of your opponent's foundations and stacking a 6 check, that's always good. Defenders of the Empire. So yeah, we all know a lot of women play this game, but yeah, so if you're playing a female character, you get to this is pretty good if you have face down in your card pool. Shenanigans. And if you're playing a dude, it's like a conditional directing an empire that you use whenever you commit your opponent's foundations with any effect. Except you can use it on your own turn too. Pretty good. Death Charge. It goes good in pretty much any deck, but it's no coincidence that this shares every symbol with Sasquatch. It's pretty good in Sasquatch, and it's pretty good in any deck that plays throws for that first E. UK's finest. So pretty much everything about this is like a different symbol and worse version of homemade explosives, except the fact that this can blow up other things besides itself, and with the addition of discarding a card, so you could cycle cards in your hand all game if you have the stuff to blow up with this. Or when you blow itself up, you get that homemade explosives type effect too. But what's noteworthy about this card is it's from 2009. I started playing like 2010 when Red Horizon came out, so I've been around a long time. And this card, this card was won even before I started playing probably. And then there's the art, and then there's Genzo Man. Like Genzo Man, it's like he forgets how to draw. It's like he doesn't know how to draw a form with any kind of definition. Like he draws the players' faces from reference, obviously, and they look pretty good. And then he gets to the other part that he, drew from his head, and it just sucks dick. And the contrast is, oh my god. Look at that Hydern guy's hand. Look, have you ever drawn a hand in your goddamn life, Genzo Man? Pulled my trigger. Oh yeah, that's the ticket. Just put all those shitty symbols on it and make it really good. And I make it have that one anime guy's symbols too, so they go really good together. That's okay, I guess. That's pretty cool, I guess. Alright, so the deal with these Battle for the Universe promos is these abilities and card text were all okayed by Jasco, but they're gonna get released inside of the box of Battle for the Universe that is getting kickstarted, which isn't officially completely backed yet. So these will theoretically come out if Battle for the Universe if it gets funded. And people make a lot of fuss about these 2 cards online, I've seen. Like the Jaguar guy, he does pick up 5 difficulty attacks. That's pretty good. But the fact that he has to like eat one to the face and then he has to discard a card from his hand, that's a pretty big cost. You're either going to be discarding an attack from your hand to just get a different attack. That's not too good. Or you're going to be discarding, a non-attack card that you could have built last turn. And then his other ability is really good. It's really niche, but it's really good. It probably won't do anything against characters like E Honda, but it will pretty much wreck some people. I mean, it's easy to play around it. Just play Momentum Hate or something. I mean, he has 0 abilities to use on his own turn. He has no killing potential on his own turn. He just gets 1 or 2 more attacks into his hand during his opponent's turn if he gets hit in the face. But he is a better T-Hawk than T-Hawk is, because playing this guy, you can Mexican Typhoon the ever-loving shit out of your opponent, which is pretty funny because, you know, he's the Obsidian Jaguar and T-Hawk's like a native Mexican. That's pretty good, huh? And then there's Commander Canada, which it's been a long time since I've stacked characters because Mega Man 2 Dot just by himself is probably better and more consistent than trying to like play all the Mega Mans and stack them up. So now you can play a character that's actually pretty good at stacking. He has nice abilities, and then you can also play all that Mega Man support that's been getting dust. And his E looks really good until you notice that it says your opponent's foundations don't ready during the next ready step. That means if you use this ability on your opponent's turn, you're not locking them down like Broberg does. They're going to ready during your opponent's next turn. Unless that's a typo, but I don't think it is. Okay, I wanted to record this part live, but the audio messed up, so I'm just going to have to voice over it. So, so here's the Battle for the Universe pledge page, or Kickstarter. It's got 6.5K out of 25K it needs. Battle for the Universe already had a false start at the start of this year, but you know, the guys behind it picked themselves up and put it up again, and now they're even farther already than they were the first time. So they're trying real hard, and I want to help them out. So I'm gonna help them, but they're also gonna help me. So there's this pledge reward for the $500 amount. You get to create your own character in the game. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna pledge, and I'm gonna make a villain character. This villain's gonna be named Maximum Pay. He's gonna be a mafia boss / bank robber. He's gonna say things like, "You looking for some big pay, buddy?" Or "It's time to pay the piper," or "It's time for a maximum payback." You get it. Oh, and the reference for the face, it's going to be something like, shit, I don't know, something like this. Yeah, so Maximum Pay, that's going to be a character in the Battle of the Universe setting. Okay, we got that done. We got that squared away. But then there's a part 2 to my scheme. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to change my pledge to be a little more. And Johnny Boy, the guy heading this project, like that Obsidian Jaguar character is cool and all, but I think Maximum Pay would be a better box promo for the UFS box promo. And Jason's cool. Just go to Jason and be like, you know, can we change the Obsidian Jaguar to be Maximum Pay? And Jason will be like, yeah, I like that Maximum Pay character too. We're gonna set that up. So yeah, they already okayed the abilities. So supposedly, I imagine Maximum Pay would theoretically have the same abilities that Obsidian Jaguar has. Yeah, it'll be pretty neat, huh? Like a bank robber / mafia boss that like pays people off to like get his way and uses shenanigans and stuff like that. That's gonna be a UFS promo. That'll be pretty nifty, huh? So all of you UFS kiddies are gonna help now, right? You're gonna help make this a reality and get that bastard up and running. Make that stretch goal happen, right? Right, UFS players, you're gonna make Maximum Pay be a thing. But for real, the game looks pretty sweet. It's superhero settings like Sentinels of the Multiverse, except Sentinels of the Multiverse is like a kiddie tier PvE game, and this is a PvP game. Customize your own decks and stuff. And now it has a pretty sweet character. Maximum Pay in the game too is a pretty sweet little feature.